Okay, so just at the services, we're just going to go look at this Audi TT. A nice Ava silver with red leather interior S-line, 2002, obviously it's an S-line, so yeah, go pick that up and show you what's what. That's not my lift. No. Where's my lift? I'm all packed up and ready to go with a few essentials. Got some lunch there, some tools, just some absolute basics, just in case there's any issues. The obligatory morning breakfast. This is payment for the lift that I'm receiving. No egg. I think he wants a white coffee. I need to check. On the way to pick up the car. Let's see how good it is. Oh, there's traffic issues on the M25 as usual. Yeah, it should be fun. We're going to give it a quick look over and hopefully the wheels won't fall off when I'm driving it home. Whee. All the sugar. You're not going to see this bit.
Probably better to record that again because you won't want audio in it.
I'll just blank the audio anyway.
I was going to say, yeah, if the video picks up any music, it puts like a warning on you.
Here she is. Some nice bird muck. Okay, so a walk around the car. This is your pre-purchase checks, if you like. I'll try not to go through all the stuff that you would normally do when buying any car, like look at shut lines and look for dings and dents and make sure things line up. That should all be obvious, you know, things like that. What I'm going to try and do is just look at more TT specific areas. So one of the first things to look at visually on the outside is, has anything been changed from standard? Now it's clear on this one. We've got some aftermarket alloy wheels, and if you take a sneak peek, we've actually got some Leon Cooper Brembos by the look of it, which are a nice upgrade. We've got some spacers on there that look like 15mm. The arch cap there is lower than usual, so that will be that'll be lowered. So as you can see here, we've got a bit of bubbling on the wheel arch. That's a fairly common thing to look out for on TTs. That happens quite a lot, and down in this area as well. Speaking of the suspension, if it's on standard suspension, check that the height is the same on both rears and both fronts, because what often happens is the springs can snap, but we can see through there that these are lowering springs, but the springs can snap a coil and then they'll sit at different heights. But again, we can see on the back here the brakes have been done. We've got some more like 20mm spacers on the rear there. Common area for rust down here. We can see that this one's got an aftermarket exhaust. Let's have a look properly. looks like, might be going to the decat section. That panel hanging off there is just an under tray. It's not a massive issue, but we like to get that secured back up. So areas that you can see under here, things like these tie bars. Okay, now what often happens is the bushes at this end, see if I can point to them, bushes just here can go bad. If they're rose joints, they can seize, and then that can snap the tie bars. Just try and get the lighting a bit better down here. But yeah, a common area on a standard exhaust for it to rust is this back section here, where it drops to like a sort of triangular shape. It's a different grade steel to the rest of it, and that's the part that seems to rust. So common thing is water, you know, sort of getting in through the seal on the back of the splitter and causing corrosion around the lights. We don't seem to be too bad on those. Common thing is the hazing on the older version of the tail lights. On the newer models they seem to survive a lot better, but this area just seems to haze up a bit. Zoom back out. So this has got the V6 extension on there. We've got some tinted windows, so we know that this has been modified by the previous owner, and that can cause itself some challenges, because you don't know what they've done, how they've done it, whether it's been done to a good standard or not. So always be wary with modified vehicles. You know, was it done by, you know, a garage? Was it, you know, has it been into 4 rings and they've done loads of stuff, or some GTI or places like that, or is it just some lad with his mates on a Friday night chucking a few bits on it? So that's what you've got to look at. So again, we're looking at here, yeah, the seals are up straight and true, strip lines are nice. We've got no, what's that there? That's just a bit of dirt. Got no rust around here, so that's nice. So a common issue on these is the rear bush here. Now I've heard this knocking. I'm going to give her a drive, and you can see there that the bush is starting to deteriorate. And then you've got in here, you've got the anti-roll bar bush there. That looks okay. And then there's another bush at the front of the wishbone there. I advise when you're changing one, just change both of them. So I'll have to get that up in the air and see exactly what is knocking. Common area is hazing on the headlights. So you can see this is all going a bit foggy, a bit hazy. That's very common. There we go, got it in focus. This side's very much the same. This isn't by any means the worst I've seen, but it is getting there, getting foggy and hazy. So if we look here, this is another bit of aftermarket equipment. Got a front mounted intercooler on there. So this thing here, so that's something you wouldn't normally see. Now by the look of this, I'm going to guess that this is a forged one, just 'cause I've seen a few. So on the outside as well, common place for corrosion is up here. You can see we've got the windscreen starting to delam ever so slightly there. Not a major concern though. You can see a lack of peeling off there. These are actually really easy to remove. Once the boot lid's popped, there's just one screw here. The whole thing slides out and it's not a problem. So on the outside, that's basically what we're looking for. So I'm going to open her up and have a look. I seem to be in the way here. Oh, that was evils from the lady in the Duke. So now we've got a nice red leather interior. Common thing to break is the switch here for the mirrors. Common issue is that these switches drop through when they're removed and not put back properly. If the door cards are taken off or stripped down for any reason, that happens. Got a bit of wear on here. Not too bad. Should be able to spruce those up a little bit. I'm not too concerned by that. Now as we look at the dash, the vehicle's not even on, and our needles are in the wrong position. That's a fairly common issue that can be resolved. There you go, look at that. They've got an issue with correct set points. That was very interesting to actually capture that happening. So that's where they should be sat. And on my entire journey back, see, I did what you shouldn't do. I just turned up, gave him the cash and drove it away, because I know, based on what's on the vehicle, as long as it gets me home, even if I had to break it for parts, I wouldn't have lost any money on it. So, you know, for me as a mechanic and knowing these cars inside out, I didn't have to worry about that. But obviously, you'd normally do all these checks before giving the customer any money, the seller any money. So, yeah, even at first click, those are way out. Now, we might be able to do a reset procedure on those. But yeah, if I start her up, she struggles to start first time, which is great, but if I give her another go, she fires up. So it's at this point I would leave it idling. It should idle high for a couple of minutes at sort of this area here, and then it should drop to a nice steady idle, like so. Now you'll notice the needle on mine is hunting quite a bit. Shouldn't be doing that at all. So the reason it's doing that is there's either a vacuum leak or an air leak, which I was made aware of by the seller before I purchased it. Again, I'm not concerned. We've got a lovely H-gate thing on here, which I don't particularly like, but we have got sat-nav, which is nice. I can do a video on how that works another time, because not many of them have this option. But on the interior, what we're looking for is any switches broken, damaged or anything like that. They're all relatively cheap and easy to replace, but it's just nice to know what you're letting yourself in for. This is the rear leg room on a TT. This is the driving position for me. I'm fairly short, so unless your kids got really little legs, they're really not very practical at all. So yeah, basically we just want to have a listen to the engine and see how that sounds. But that exhaust sounds very nice, combined with the air filter that's on there. So if you've got this problem and you want to see, okay, is it genuinely overheating or not? Quite simply, I've got another video on this, but this is the hidden menu. Scroll all the way back to 49. And we enter, and we're at 84 degrees. Nothing to be concerned about at all in any way. This lady in the Duke is really annoyed again. Bye. Yeah, so the other things that you can check, got things like, let's see if I can remember this off the top of my head, 21. No, it's not 21, is it? 20 gives us the battery voltage, so we can see that that's not a bad charging voltage. Not the aircon on. We've got that drop in voltage. We know the compressor's kicking in, the clutch is kicked in, and it's taken load on the engine, which means that it's not charging for that split second as much. So yeah, that's easy way of testing that the compressor's actually kicking in at least. Stereo, they have a problem sometimes with the volume not working, but that works absolutely fine. I won't put any more music on, because otherwise YouTube will delete the video. We want to obviously check the lights. So the lights have come on first time. Got the bi-xenons on there. Obviously this is a 225, so they come as standard. If you've got, general rule of thumb, if you've got those, then you've got xenons. If you haven't got those, you might still have xenons. Someone might have done a modification and deleted them. So inside here, we're having a listen, and obviously you can hear that the idle just isn't right. So that's one thing we'll be addressing. But what you're looking for is any obvious oil leaks and things like that. So common area is the rocker cover gasket down here, so we can see that there is oil residue back there. So that's a common area, common issue. Down here you've got the PCV piping. Now this has all been changed, but it makes me think that it might not have been done properly, because we've still got major vacuum leaks, which, these have all been changed. So I'm wondering, is the person that's done the work competent, or is there further underlying issues? Good thing to check is obviously the oil colour. Don't worry about if you've got condensation, if you've got any gunk on the cap, but this one's alright. These are nice Porsche caps. These strut tops, the main thing to look for is that these are fairly central. There's a little bit on the skew there. So these are probably this side's a lot worse. Look, see, it's a lot further over to the inside than it is the outside. So these could benefit from changing. There'll always be a gap there, but being off centre, it is starting to wear out a bit more. So yeah, we can just have a look round. I mean, for example, that hose there doesn't look like it's on as far as it should be. That's red hot at the minute, so I'm not going to touch that. But yeah, it's just, you know, having a general look over everything. You know, if there's any major leaks, anything unplugged for any reason, so common issues. You know, if you unplug the MAF, it goes to a more basic setting, and it can hide some idling issues. So some people do that. Plug that back on, so it's getting the right readings. So look, these always break, but that's where one of your VIN numbers is, so you can check and compare that VIN number to what's up here in the bottom of the windscreen there, so you can check your VIN numbers. Nice and easy. Just in case you didn't know, that's where you put your washer fluid in. Sometimes people can't find that, it's a bit difficult, it's a bit hidden. But yeah, obviously oil goes in there, check the oil level there. Coolant level, you can see, that's where the markers are. A lot of people fill them all the way up to here, you know, but that's over full. You've got your minimum and your max marker just there. That's why this is shaped that way, so you can see that, and you can see that that is absolutely fine at the minute. But yeah, so overall, not a bad car, especially for the money that I paid for it, which I won't tell you what that was. But this is one that I'm going to be rocking around in the summer while I build my project car, which is I'll do another video on that. But this is the Remus Exhaust. Right, I'm just going to get a blast of this for you. Obviously we want to be looking for any excessive smoke, but you can see there that that's absolutely fine. There's a small amount. So you've got a small amount there. That's not anything too excessive, not too much to worry about. But there you go, that's a brief insight into the TT. There's lots of more stuff that you can look out for, but you just got to look for the basics that are going to bite you in the ass. Obviously taking on a test drive and check that it engages all the gears correctly, check that the clutch doesn't feel really heavy. The heavier they are, the closer they are to going, as a general rule of thumb. Obviously, you know, functionality, check all the brakes, you know, stop you sharply, check the ABS kicks in. It's always nice to just know that that works. The whole deck's a way to test that. You would have to find a gravelly area, turn the traction control off, and just see if it spins the rear wheels up. You know, these are things that, unless you've got a scanner with you, you've got to do a real world test rather than, you know, plugging in and finding out. So that's an easy way of doing that. But yeah, any problems, questions, queries, please let me help if you add the comments below. But I will do further videos on the car. Look how nice she is, nice and clean. So we do some videos of you know, improvements, modifications, fixing things, finding the faults, going through all that stuff and getting her back to, you know, full roadworthiness. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.